Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Heidi. I'm completely blind so I don't look directly at you, but I promise I'm right here with you. So today is another chatty video and a highly requested video. Many of you have asked that I go over my fragrance journey with you. And I really had to think very long and hard how I will package this. Because to be honest, sitting this side of the camera, I feel a bit naked if I don't have a bottle to show or, a sequence to go through. And then I become concerned. Oh my goodness, I just don't want to sit here and blab and be boring. And you know what I'm saying? So I thought very hard of how to, like I said, package this. And I thought, I've watched the Perfume Journal, Danielle from the Perfume Journal. I've watched Claire Smith. And a few months ago, I saw videos of them where they spoke about the stages of their journey. I can't remember if it was the stages of their addiction or just the stages of their journey. But I thought that is such a helpful way of doing it, of presenting it in stages. Also, what I want to say is my fragrance journey contain my most embarrassing moment, and I was really thinking whether I should actually include it because I think it's a bit of a tasteless topic, but we don't have secrets for each other regarding fragrances around here, I suppose. So I will share that when I come to that part of my journey. So my journey has 6 stages, but the 6th stage I haven't reached yet. That is my hope, my dream, and my aspirations, I suppose. Okay, so let's get into it. I have again a chai latte here that I will be just sipping on. This is one of my favorite drinks. So good. Okay, so the first stage was really my introduction into fragrances, or what I will call the introductory phase. And that is really the phase where I smelled my mom. And my mom always smelled so nice to me, so beautiful. And weirdly enough, one of the fragrances she used to wear back then was Beautiful by Estee Lauder. And I always thought, and I still think up until today, all fragrances smell so good on my mom. Also, I remember at school, I was about 10 or 11. There was this girl, she was 1 year older than me. And one day at school, I just got this whiff of this absolutely intoxicating smell. And I asked her, "What are you wearing? That is so good." And that was Charlie Gold by Revlon. I actually ordered just a deodorant to re-smell it again. And you see, now I have a bottle in my hand. Now I feel so much better. So when I smell it now, I'm like, really? Did I like this? No, it must have been reformulated. That's my thinking, But it probably hasn't been. This is a oriental floral fragrance. I hear people talk about Charlie White and Charlie Blue, and no one ever talks about Charlie Gold. This has been, I've loved this fragrance so much. So I remember she wore that fragrance, and then when she changed her signature scent, I was like, oh, but I wanted to smell that Charlie Gold again. It's just a very sweet, floral, but very nondescript smell, in my opinion. Anywho, so this was still the introductory phase. Then I started getting a lot of deodorants. I had Charlie White, Charlie Blue, Charlie Silver, Charlie Red, Charlie Sunshine, Charlie Gold. Do you remember all of those? I had a cupboard full of these fragrances. Well, we can see where the roots of all the problems started, can't we? So that was I would say the introduction. And then comes the next phase, which was the signature scent phase, or what we can call my serial monogamy stage with fragrances. And that started during my teenage years. The first fragrance I ever bought with my allowance, and I mean now a eau de parfum, not a deodorant, was then Charlie Gold. I couldn't wait to go out and buy Charlie Gold. And that I basically wore throughout my high school years. Some of the other girls were wearing Tommy Girl, Exclamation, all those fragrances. I was wearing Charlie Gold. Plus, it was very cheap and could, suit my pocket at that stage. I remember during this phase also very clearly, you get into boys and oh, you are so in love. And then if you find out what scent your boyfriend wear, oh my word. I mean, a friend would used to go to the supermarket and go to the men's deodorants and just smell the fragrances that our boyfriends wore, especially during holidays when we missed them. So, yeah. That was also some of the things I did during this signature scent phase of mine. The signature scent phase spans the greater part of my life, really. I had a signature scent from 14, the age of 14, until about 6 years ago. Yeah, so when I left high school, I started wearing Provocative Woman by Elizabeth Arden. Now, that fragrance I completely forgot, even though I had bottles of it, but I read up on it, and apparently it's also oriental floral. There's interestingly papaya blossom and white sand in there. I thought that was very interesting. Do any of you know Provocative Woman? Because I've never heard anyone talk about it here on YouTube. I loved that fragrance, and I used to wait for December because then you always got like 100 ml and a 30 ml extra. It was like this gift set. Then I also, for my 21st birthday, my then boyfriend, got me Hugo Boss Deep Red. Oh, I love that fragrance. That is a blood orange, vanilla, floral fragrance. I actually smelled it the other day and I was just like, this is really a good fragrance. So I started wearing that at one stage. At one stage, I wore Gucci, just the normal original Gucci, just the Gucci by Gucci. And when I smelled it years later, I was so disappointed. I was like, oh my goodness, this is not how I remember it. But that was a guava floral fragrance, if I remember correctly. So, yes, I went through many signature scents, but I always just had one, maximum 2 bottles of fragrance. After my university years, I started wearing Midnight Rose by Lancome. I've spoken about that one so much, so I started wearing that one. And I have very fond memories of me and my mom and my sister often going to shopping centers, just sniffing fragrances. It was just such a fun bonding activity for all of us. It's actually my sister, Vicky, who introduced me to Midnight Rose. So I started collecting a bit more fragrances, and that led me into the next phase, which was around 2019, 2020, that COVID times. And this I would call my curiosity phase. This is where I sometimes went to a store just to smell fragrances. I got a bit more signature scents. I would actually watch some of Soki London's reviews, perfume reviews, and go out and smell those specific perfumes. And that was a short period, but this is what laid the foundation for what was to come, I suppose. That curiosity, a bit of exploration, that sort of phase. And then the next phase came, and that was the obsession slash excitement slash addiction phase. And I must tell you, from here onwards, the phases are not linear. You will see what I mean. So what happened was, let me just actually take a sip of my tea. So what happened was I went to visit my sister in the Western Cape, Vicky. And we had such a fun week, and the one day we sat and we spoke about fragrances. And I said to her, I wonder, because remember I was in this curiosity phase, what is the sexiest fragrance in the world? Now, of course, we know there is no such thing. It's like saying, who's the prettiest person in the world, or what is the most beautiful song? I mean, it's so subjective. But I was sitting there thinking, what is the sexiest, considered the sexiest perfume? And she said, well, let's look on YouTube. And she opened YouTube and up came Jeremy Fragrance. Now, I know he's getting a lot of hate when I see here on the internet and a lot of gossip about him, but let me tell you. So that was not the absolute start of it, right? So we watched, and I think it was something like the 10 sexiest fragrances or something like that. And all that I was listening for is, do I have some of these fragrances? It was important to me that I should at least have one of these fragrances. At that stage, I had about 4 fragrances. I think I had Coco Mademoiselle, Midnight Rose, Jimmy Choo Fever, and Chance by Chanel. Anywho's, so that was that. So we watched a few of his videos and we thought it's so nice to see, you know, a man's perspective and so on. So still, you know, I was still in the curiosity phase. No obsession, no weird behavior. Anyways, the next day, my sister, we were in the shopping mall and she said, but now I want to smell those fragrances he was talking about. And I remember the first one we smelled was Decadence by Marc Jacobs. And that is where it started. When we watched that review of the sexiest perfumes and then we went to smell that perfume, something happened. Something happened that catapulted me into the obsession, addiction, abnormal behavior, craziness, call it what you will, phase. So I came back to Joburg. Before I went to the airport, I went directly to the store. I bought 2 fragrances, English Pear and Freesia by Jo Malone and Decadence by Marc Jacobs. The next week, I started watching reviews like it was Netflix. I mean, I think most of you, if you watch this video, you can relate, right? Every evening, I was watching reviews. I was binge watching. I remember I watched The Simple Chic Life, Alithia. Oh, I watched video of the video of the video. Amy Glam, Maria Colette. I just couldn't stop watching these reviews, and then I started buying. And this brings us to the most embarrassing moment of my life, not of my fragrance journey, of my life. Sorry friends, this might be considered to be a bit in bad taste, but this is really what happened. So I was on a diet, as almost always, but this time it was a very successful diet actually. I was probably on a perfume diet, that's probably why. So I went to smell fragrances on quite an empty stomach. And the fragrances I decided to smell was Good Girl and its flankers at that stage. Good Girl Supreme, Good Girl Legere, you know, the ones in the stiletto bottle. And I also smelled light blue. I remember that day I purchased Good Girl, just the original, and then the light blue. Up until today, I regret that I didn't purchase the Legere. Anywho's. So, if you know Good Girl, you will know Good Girl is not a faint fragrance. It is a strong fragrance. So I was walking because I almost never test fragrances on paper. I just can't get the full idea of the fragrance. So I was walking with Good Girl all over my arms, and now I was on the mission to go and get myself a chest of drawers. I don't know if you can see it, but it's exactly this chest of drawers that I was going to buy that day. So I got into the Uber, and I remember very clearly it was a female driver, and she said to me, "You smell so good. I don't want you to leave my car. Oh my goodness, you smell so good." She raved about that nuclear combo that I had on. So anyway, as we were driving to this store, I felt, oof, something does not feel right. You know, if you start to feel a bit, you know, you even break out in, you are perspiring basically because you start to feel nauseated. But I thought, I am here on a mission and I will complete it today. So this store that I was going to is quite a, I would say quite a fancy store. It's not high end, but it's very stylish. For the South Africans here, it's at home living space. And there's always Frank Sinatra playing in the background, and you just get the feels of, you know, of luxury, and that you are going to really buy something worthwhile in the store. So I meet the assistant. I showed him the picture of the chest of drawers I want. He said, yes, we've got it. We went upstairs, got the chest of drawers. I was so impressed. And we went downstairs, and I said to him, I don't feel well. And he said, really? He said, come sit here on a chair. I was sitting at the checkout counter at the till, in full view of everyone. And I was sitting on the chair, and he had a fan on me. He was so incredibly sweet. So there I was sitting with a fan on me, feeling increasingly bad. And this freaking scent does not want to go away. It's wafting into my nostrils. And Frank Sinatra is singing his heart out in the background. And I feel, okay, the writing is on the wall. Something is going to happen. I feel even embarrassed saying it. I'm probably blushing. But so I reached into my handbag and luckily found a bag. And yes, I was sick. But I quickly realized something was amiss. And I said to the guy, oops. And he said, oh, there's a hole in the bag. Yes, friends, that is what happened to me. I know, I'm sorry for those of you who have who feel queasy easily, but that is what happened. In my first 2 weeks of my obsession, it literally led to nausea, humiliation, embarrassment. I called that man's manager that afternoon and said, I just want to say he was fabulous. But let me tell you, so I sat there, I said to him, it's because I smelled fragrances. He said to me, and remember, I'm on a diet now. He said to me, oh, I thought perhaps you are pregnant. I was like, oh my goodness, just insult to injury. So I actually didn't go back for a year. And when I went back again to the store, he was there again. He said, ma'am, did you stop smelling fragrances? I said to him, you won't even believe how out of hand it got now. So yeah, that's my story. I got through it. Probably not something that you have to necessarily share on the internet, right? But I thought it was such a funny introduction to my obsession. Anyway, so then I started purchasing fragrances. La Vie Belle was also one of my first. Then I started blind buying. The first blind buy was Dolce & Gabbana Parfum, which is a marshmallowy, powdery fragrance. Luckily, I liked it, but my heart was beating so fast when I opened that package. I was like, what if I don't like it? How irresponsible can one be? That year, I bought so many fragrances and I decluttered so many fragrances. I was extremely wasteful. Well, I guess what has changed. And, you know, it was just, I was on such a high. And that's when I decided, okay, I want to participate in the fragrance conversation, and that is when I actually started with my channel in February of 2022. So by July of 2022, I remember I thought I have to save some money. And I just went and I bought fragrances, and I was so disappointed in myself. I felt nauseated, but this time just figuratively, luckily. And that's when I started to feel overwhelmed, a bit burnt out, and I didn't even buy that much in comparison to now, but still, it was way more than I felt that was necessary. So I stopped buying. I think in the whole of 2023, I bought 2 full bottles of perfume, which was Alien, which was a 30 ml, and La Nuit Trésor. And in the whole of 2024, I bought 3 full bottles, 100 ml, which was Scandal by Jean Paul Gaultier, Mon Guerlain by Guerlain, and what was the third one? Hypnotic Poison. That's right. So I really took a break from fragrances. But that's not the end of the story, because the overwhelmed, burned out, a bit sick of fragrances phase lasted about 2 years. 2 years, 3 years, 3 years. And then I felt the urge to start buying, but not a lot. And then I started my channel again, and then I discovered Middle Eastern fragrances. And what do you know, before I knew it, I was again obsessed, excited, addicted. And yeah, this is where you got to know me, I suppose. Where am I now? I am now in between excited and a bit overwhelmed with all the fragrances. That is why I started a budget in January, just to keep myself in check. Because the thing is, I don't want to feel like I don't want to have anything to do with fragrances. I love fragrances. I love my channel. Just to say also, I also stopped doing videos in 2022, but that was not only because of overwhelm. That was because I couldn't do my own video editing. I didn't want to be so out of control, pay someone to, you know, do my videos, things like that. So I don't feel any fear at this stage that I will stop making videos. I honestly don't think that will happen again, because I'm much more in control now, if that makes sense. But I have to do it in a way that I can do it forever. And so I've implemented the budget, but what I've realized is this month I bought 6 Zara fragrances and I bought 2 Middle Eastern fragrances. I was still within my budget. So far, I'm really keeping to my budget. But I had 3 previous Middle Eastern fragrances that I bought, some last year, some earlier this year, that I also unboxed. You know, I did I unboxed 5 fragrances in the beginning of the month, and then I had my 6 Zara fragrances that I bought. That's 11 fragrances. Now for me, that feels a bit much, because then I have to test, I have to get to know the fragrances. and I don't get to really enjoy the fragrances I already have. I found that the 5 fragrances per month really worked well for me. But now the thing is, I'm in this conundrum when I want to do unboxing, and I also want to bring other fragrances in to my collection, you know. So I'll have to think carefully as to how I will approach this in a sensible, meaningful way. And I haven't figured it out yet, because I thought perhaps in addition to having a budget, I should also have a limit on how many bottles I bring in to my collection per month. Because even though these fragrances in March were all in my budget, it still led to me feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I'm still excited, don't get me wrong, but I'm starting to get that feeling of, oh my word, perhaps this is too much, you know? So where do I want to be? I want to be at stage 6, acceptance. No, I'm joking. So many things end with acceptance, right? Stage 6 for me would be balance. That is where I want to be. I want to be able to bring new fragrances into my collection. I think I've realized that, and I've made peace with the fact that I'm not one of those people whose main goal is to have 5 fragrances or 10 fragrances, and that is what they are working towards. And I've made peace with that. I like fragrances. I always want new fragrances, and that is fine. I think that is fine, but I have to do it in a sensible way, and in a way that doesn't make me feel overwhelmed and that still makes me enjoy what I already have. So I'm thinking around things like, you know, getting samples, getting discovery sets. I think that might be more sensible. My only conundrum, and I'm very honest with you now, my only conundrum with that is a few things. Firstly, if the bottles all feel the same, it really makes it difficult for me. If I have a few small samples and they all feel the same, and I always have to check with AI which bottle it is, especially cylindrical bottles, it's very difficult for AI to see what it is. So that is my first hesitation with samples. Bottles are so easy to distinguish. There's always a distinguishing feature, except when it's flankers. And then often you can smell the difference. The other hesitation I have is towards you. And that is, I know that you would want to see the bottle. And the easy thing is to put a photo of the bottle on the screen. However, I haven't figured out how to download an image of a bottle from my computer. And I don't know how I would be able to verify whether it is the right bottle. So I'm just being very honest with you. That's why I didn't really go into samples and discovery sets, because it feels like it would make it practically hard for me, number one. And number two, it will most probably not give you the full visual experience that I would want to provide. So that is where I'm at actually, but I am thinking around these things, how to bring more balance into my collection, how to do things more sensibly. And I think I am putting measures, no, not I think, I know, I am starting to put measures into place. Having the budget, I feel like I'm rambling now, but having the budget was one of the best things I could have done for myself. It give me that boundary, but it still gives me permission to add new fragrances, if that makes sense. But I don't go after payday and senselessly scroll through all the stores that I buy from, the online perfume stores, because I know I can't buy. If I scroll, I add it to cart and I say, well, if I want it next month, I can get it next month. And it also gives me time to think whether I really, really, really want that fragrance. And I think that is basically it for the stages of my journey. Oh, one thing I can add as well. Let me just take a sip. Is around scent profiles and how I've learned what I like. I like gourmands. I mean, you only have to be here for half a video to know that I love gourmands. And I'm starting to love very feminine fragrances. I didn't used to like florals, but I'm starting to like that. But I like it, especially if there's a vanilla in there, if there's a, you know, something to ground it, to like a sandalwood or a vanilla. I like those sort of feminine fragrances as well. So that has been it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know how your journey went, where you are at the moment in your journey. I would love to know. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I love you all, and until next time, bye for now.